We're going to practice running an existing Python script that has external dependencies, which means we need to install some external libraries, which means we should use virtual environments. So we did a couple of practices where we go run scripts that don't need anything external, and we didn't need to use virtual environments. In this case, we're going to do that, right? So this is part of my Python course. I'm adding a whole section in the beginning of the course because it's a good idea to run existing code, get familiar with the environment of executing existing stuff before we write something new. So I'm not editing it for YouTube or anything. I'm just taking the stuff that I have in the course, handpicking some of it and putting it here. So this is a video from the course. So you're just going to see the whole introduction again. Go ahead and enjoy it. If it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe, give this video a like, let YouTube know this is worth watching, and hopefully you enjoy it. Put comments, let me know if you want to see something else, if this was helpful. I really want to hear it, if I need to create something similar like this more here on YouTube, right? My name is Admas Kunfu. I run supersqa.com. I teach QA automation. So this is part of automation, but in automation we run Python scripts. So I want you to get familiar with running existing scripts before you start to even write anything new. So let's jump right into it. We're going to continue practicing running existing Python scripts. This time we're going to use Python scripts that actually have some dependencies that we need to go and install some external libraries. All the examples we've done so far, they were just standalone scripts that we can just execute without having to install anything. Since we don't need to install any external libraries, we do not need to use virtual environments, right? So it's pretty simple. We go download the code, we go navigate to where the code is, we just execute it, straightforward. Now there is one additional step, well, I guess two additional steps where we're going to do everything we just did. We're going to download the code, navigate to where the code is. Then we're going to need to create a virtual environment and then install the dependencies, right? So creating the virtual environment is optional. We talked about it. There's a whole video on virtual environments, right? A full tutorial on virtual environments, and I explained why we need virtual environments. It's just to keep our computer clean, right? We have our main installation of Python, right? Whether you're on a Mac or Windows, you have a folder just for the clean Python that you installed. Now, when you install dependencies, like you have an application like the one we're going to run that needs external libraries, when you download that, you're going to download it to the system environment, or to the system Python, and you're going to be doing that all the time. So you're going to corrupt stuff, right? It's just not going to be clean. So ideally, you want to create its own little environment for a particular project and install everything you want there. And when you're done, you can just delete it. So we're going to do that. So if you're not clear about virtual environments, I don't want to spend a lot of time explaining what virtual environments are here. I just want to use them. So make sure you go back and watch the video that is in the virtual environment. I will put it in the description also to make it easy for you. All right, so here what we have here is a repository with two different folders and the README. And in this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it both on Mac, on Windows in the same video. It's not going to be a separate Windows video or separate Mac video, okay? Since it's straightforward, we're going to do it all in this video. So we have this project. We're going to just download it. If you're familiar with git clone, like I just said before, go ahead and do the clone. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to assume you don't know that yet. So I'm just going to download it. So I'm going to go to code here and click on download zip, and we want to download it to downloads and click OK. All right, so meanwhile here the README tells you, hey, you have two different scripts. There's one folder that says health check script, another one that says Selenium script. You can read this whole thing. I'm just going to save time and go into one at a time. Let's start with the health check script. So we're going to go to the health check. As soon as you see requirements.txt, that is where the dependencies are listed. In a typical Python project, you see all your files, and one of the files happens to be requirements.txt. That requirements.txt has a list of libraries that project needs. If we open this guy here now, it says request. Usually you would see versions. It would be like request equal some version number. Normally that's the right way to do it. The reason I did this is when you watch this video, it might be a year from now, 2 years from now, right? The versions have changed, so I don't want you to get confused. So, and we don't really care about the dependencies, version dependencies. So I'm just going to put the library name. In this case, we only need one library, request. Normally you have requirements.txt and you have a lot of different libraries. We're going to see that in the next video where we actually run a web application. So one thing I want you to get so far is if we see in the repository, if we see requirements.txt, that means there are dependencies that are inside of this. That's how Python manages. So one of the ways Python manages dependencies. Then we have our main script and we have the README. So the README just explains what the script does. What the script does is it goes into our test site, demostore.supersqa.com. It's just making a request, an HTTP request, and it's just making sure the website is up and running, right? That's all it's doing. It's like a health check. So it's a Python script. It's just one Python script that it runs and it makes sure the website is up. First, let's make sure the website is even up. Demo store, demo. store.spreadsql.com. It's HTTP. It's not HTTPS. Okay, it's HTTP demo store.spreadsql.com. So this site is up. So this script is basically making a request to the site, getting a response, and making sure the site is up and running. So the real use case will be this script can be scheduled in Jenkins or in some kind of cron tab that is scheduled to run every hour. So it will just run every hour, make sure that the website is up and running. If the website is not up and running, then it would send me a text message, an email, or some kind of notification. That part is not implemented. The script right now is just checking if it's there or not, right? So that's the use case. Usually you want to understand what the script is doing, why we need it before we start to run it, right? Understanding it is a good idea. So it explains it here. It says that's what it does. It needs Python 3.7 and above and installation, right? We haven't seen this in the previous examples because we did not need to install anything. And it says it is recommended that we use a virtual environment. So we are going to use a virtual environment. So what it's saying is navigate to the directory, health check script, then create a virtual environment. So this is the most easiest way to create a virtual environment. There's multiple ways to create virtual environments, but this venv module, it comes in built in with Python, at least with Python 3. So Python or Python 3. So on my Mac, I have to do Python 3. On my Windows, I can do Python. -m venv, that is the command. You're all going to use that, okay? You are going to use exactly this command. This is the name of the virtual environment we're going to create. This is going to be a brand new folder that gets automatically created. That is, we can use any name here. Just don't put a space in it. All right. So then to activate it on Windows, you just run this. On a Mac or Linux, you just run this. We're going to do all this. Then this is the new part here. We're going to install requirements. So since we only have one library, right, request, we could just do pip install request. Pip install the library. Pip install the library. We can do that. But if you have a requirements.txt that has a list of libraries, instead of installing one library at a time, doing pip install this, pip install that, all you do is pip install -r, you're telling it I'm going to use the requirements, and you give it the file name, the requirements.txt. Then it's going to go and install everything in that requirements.txt. Okay. Then once you're done, you deactivate to get rid of the virtual environment. And then this is alternative directory direct install. This looks like the same. I probably need to clean. Oh, this is basically without creating the virtual environment, right? You just go to the folder, you just install it. You can do that, but what this will do is it will install the dependencies in the system Python. It's not going to install it in the environment, in the virtual environment. You want to put it in the system Python. That's fine, right? If you are confused about virtual environments, still after going through that tutorial, you're still not sure about it, that's totally fine, okay? Like virtual environments are really optional initially. When you're learning how to code in Python, virtual environments are really optional. But later on, when you start to work with a bunch of different projects, like on my system right now, I have so many different projects, a bunch of like external projects, not something I wrote, just like running. I want to try out this AI model, this image generation, this, that. A lot of different projects I download from the internet and run them. If I was to run that directly in my system, it would not be a good idea at all. So I would create a bunch of different virtual environments. But initially, the stuff you do is not going to be that complicated. You're not going to work on so many different projects that depend on different dependencies. So you're okay. So I would really love it if you take the time and learn virtual environments and use them. But if you're having a hard time, don't worry about it. Just do this part. Just install the dependencies. I do want you to know how to install the dependencies. But having to use a virtual environment, that is optional. Okay. All right. So let's jump right into it. And this is kind of what the output we expect. So everything is the same. So now, starting from now, I'm going to go back and forth to Windows and Mac. So if I was to go to my Windows here, I'm going to download that too. I'm going to go download zip, right? So this is actually asking me, hey, where do you want to download it? Right there. Now let's go back to the Mac. In fact, let's run it on Mac. Then we go in Windows and we'll run it. Now I'm going to go to my downloads. As you can see, it's right there. I'm going to double click it. It's going to create the folder that is not the zip, right? So to keep clean, I'm going to delete the old one. All right. Now I'm going to open a new tab. I'm going to go to desktop. I'm going to create a folder for my project. In this case, let me just call it my projects, in fact, right? Then I'm going to copy this folder and paste it here. In fact, I cut it out. It's not there anymore. It's not in the downloads anymore. Okay. Now in here, I have this folder, Python script examples with external libraries, main, health check script, Selenium script. Okay, so the one we want to run right now is the health check. We're going to come back and do the Selenium script too. Those are two different projects in the same repository, right? I just don't want you to go do multiple times, just download it once, but we're going to treat them as two different projects. So we're going to go and create a virtual environment inside of each one. Now we can open it in VS Code. This time, let's start from there. We could just go to the terminal, but let's do it in VS Code. Let me open my stuff here. So I'm going to open VS Code. I'm going to go to File, right? And I'm going to go to open folder. We're going to go to open folder. We're going to go to desktop, my projects, Python scripts, the main one, right? Python scripts example with external libraries. So I could open that as a project, or I could open this health check by itself, Selenium by itself. Let me open the parent as a project. So I'm going to do open, and this got opened. As you can see, this is our main folder name. You can see it up here to the project name. It shows up right here. Then we have the two folders, right? We have to do it in PyCharm. Same thing. I just opened PyCharm, and then we're going to go to file. We're going to go to open, and the same thing. We're going to go to desktop. We're going to go to my projects, and we're going to choose that folder here. Open. I'm going to say trust this project, new window, and it just opened it here on my second monitor, right? So here we go. We have our project right here, and the same thing. We can open the terminal and start working here, but I'm going to do it in VS Code because I do want to encourage you to use VS Code. All right, so this idea stuff showed up. Don't worry about it because that's because we opened it in PyCharm. PyCharm creates this .idea folder. PyCharm itself creates that folder to keep track of its own history, its own thing. So it just showed up here because we opened this project in PyCharm. So you can just ignore that, okay? We got these two folders. So I'm going to open the terminal. Let me make this a little bit smaller. We could open the file first if we want to. The demo store health check, right? This is a Python file. Now, I'm not expecting you to understand what this is saying right now. But the goal is once you learn the Python course, you're going to be able to write. We have exercises that are just like this, right? A script that checks the website is up and running, right? So here, this Python script says import time, import datetime, import request. It's importing other code that other people wrote. And that could be some external library, or it can be built in with Python library, which is called a standard library. So the second two, line 8 and line 9, time and datetime, those are part of the standard library. When you install Python, those libraries are installed together automatically. But this requests library, it's underline, I'll explain why that is. It's actually going to be a little confusing, so I won't explain it. But the request library is an external library. It's a library that came from somewhere else. So we have to install it. We have to do pip install that external library. And the reason it's underlined here is this project is using the default Python version. And that Python version does not have requests installed. That's going to get a little confusing, so I don't want to talk about that at this stage. All right, so we're going to open the terminal. You can open your own terminal, like the terminal here, or you can do it here too. So if I do ls, we see the health check script there. So we're going to go there, cd health check script, right? If I do pwd, we're inside of that health check script. Basically, we are inside of here. Now we're going to create a virtual environment. Usually you can just follow the instruction step by step, right? We did this. We did cd health check. Now we're going to create a virtual environment. I'm going to do Python 3 because I'm on my Mac -m venv. This is a command. Now I can give it any name. It's typical. You'll see AI suggesting it, and you see readme. People use venv for the name of the virtual environment. It makes it easy to understand, but I'm going to name it something else. Maybe I'll just name it venv-health, right? Since I have so many virtual environments, when I do that, I can easily see what I've created. So it's creating it. Now, if you notice here, it created a new folder. So when you create a virtual environment, it's creating a brand new folder. So create a brand new folder called venv-health. And if we do ls here, you can also see it right there, venv-health. Okay. Now what do? We activate it. So we create the virtual environment, we activate. Since we're on a Mac, we're going to do this source command. I'm going to do this in Windows soon. So I'm going to source venv-health bin activate. This is the command. The name of the folder that you created, or the name of the virtual environment that you created, that is depending on what you created. After that, it's going to be the same. Bin activate. Hit enter. Now you see this part here. We know the virtual environment is activated. Okay. What's next? Then we're going to install our dependencies. Pip install -r requirements.txt. Pip install -r requirements.txt. Pip is a package manager. It's a Python module. It's a Python thing. Just let's think of it as Python's functionality, like Python superpower, where it's going to go to the internet, a specific place, PyPy, and it's going to look for the stuff you need, and it's automatically going to download it and install it. That's what pip does. So we're telling it pip install -r requirements.txt. If we open requirements.txt, this request module is doing that. So if I hit enter, it's going to go and start installing that. It just did install it. If you want to see if it's installed, you can do pip freeze. That will give you a list of what is installed. All those things are installed. Request library 2.32.5. That particular version that was installed. A lot of times you will see this. You will see request equal like that. Specific versions in there. I don't like to do that. Just for this one, I decided not to do that. Another thing is, since there's only one library here, once the virtual environment is created, you could also do pip install requests, just like that. That's going to install request. Now we already installed it. We just run the requirements.txt. So it's saying, hey, it's already satisfied. Okay. Now we install the dependency. The next thing is we just have to run it. This one is actually pretty stupid. I need to fix this. It's saying to deactivate it. You need to keep it active for you to run the script. We didn't even run the script yet. So this part is just about installing. So I think I should add a step here that says, hey, run the script. So I will modify that. Okay, so now we're just going to run the script. So the script is right here, demo store health check. All I have to do is Python 3. In fact, since I'm inside the virtual environment, I could do Python. It would have worked. But I'm just going to do Python 3, demo store health check, hit enter. This is making an API call to that website and making sure the website is working, and it prints this out just like that. All right, so now let's do the exact same thing. I'll move a lot faster, but let's do it on Windows. Okay, so here on Windows, the same thing. We downloaded it, right? So we're going to go to the folder here, downloads folder. It's right here. We're going to extract it. We're going to do extract all. Let's extract there. All right, we're going to go in there. We're going to go in there. Okay, we have this folder. So we can literally copy this guy. We're going to go copy or cut. And we're going to need a new window. What I need to figure out is how to open a new window the easy way. I'm going to do right click here and file explorer. That opens it. I'm going to go to desktop, and inside of desktop I can create a new folder here. I'm going to do new folder. I'm going to do the same thing, my projects, and inside of my projects I'm going to go and paste my folder here. Now I'm going to open vscode, Visual Studio Code. I'm going to say Visual Studio Code, right? So this is a typical process. You download the folder from wherever you're downloading it, usually GitHub. Then you take it and you put it into a folder that you want to work with. You should keep organized, so you have a folder where all your projects, you move it there. Then you come to VS Code. Then you're going to open it as a project. So you're going to go to File. You're going to go to Open Folder, and here you're going to find it, right? Desktop, My Projects, and Python script examples with external libraries. We're going to select folder, and voila, right? So trust this project. Great. Now we can see it here. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to open the terminal. We're going to open the built-in terminal right here. A little small, so we will zoom it later. CD health check. Right, we're in there. Well, this is PowerShell. I actually want to change that. I almost made the same mistake. I always tell you, pay attention. I know how to use PowerShell. I kind of know how to use PowerShell because PowerShell is similar to Linux and Mac. But what I want to do is I want to open a new command prompt, a new terminal here. I'm going to hit the drop down and I'm going to hit command prompt. I don't want to use PowerShell. I want to use command prompt. Perfect. All right, now I can go to CD health check. All right, now if I do dir, you see what's in here. I don't have the virtual environment, so I'm going to create it. The beautiful thing is the command to create the virtual environment is exactly the same. So I'm going to do python -m vnv. I'm going to say vnv health. I'm going to name it the same. So vnv health is the name of the virtual environment. I just literally created a brand new virtual environment called health. So I'm going to wait for it to finish. What I noticed on my Windows, I'm sure it's something with my system, it created it, right? I can see the folder created, but it just hangs, right? I mean, if I hit enter, nothing. If I do Control C, maybe I killed it too quickly. I'm not sure, but I think it is created. So let's see if we can activate it. CLS to clear it. Let me clear all this out. Make this bigger. Okay. Now to activate on Windows, we're just going to run the script. So vnv health /scripts/activate. Let's see. Maybe I messed that up. Oh yeah, I did not wait for it to finish. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to create it again. So I'm going to right click here. I'm going to delete, move to recycling bin. Okay. Now I'm going to basically hit the up arrow to go back, and I'm going to create the virtual environment again. I just run the same command again. That's what I did. I hit the up arrow to go back to the previous command. So I think I killed it too quick. On Windows, it's a little slow. On my Windows, it's a little slow. So we're going to wait for it to finish, and then we're going to see if it's done. Here in health scripts, there should be a script called activate. So I'm waiting for that to show up. There you go. It actually finished, right? All the stuff is here, and the terminal also finished. So now I can activate it. So all I have to do is vnv health /scripts/activate.bat, right? Hit enter as you always do. This is how I know it's activated or not. Right here, we can see that it is activated. Now I can run my script. I can say Python, what was the name of the script? Health demo store health check. Python demo store health check, hit enter. Oh, I activated the virtual environment. I did not install the dependencies. That's the next thing I need to do is pip install -r requirements.txt requirements. Why? There you go. Pip install -r requirements.txt. Hit enter, and there you go. As it is downloading the requests library and installing it. Once this is done, all I do is just execute the script. Now I hit the up arrow, Python demo store health check.py. Voila. All right, the script is executed. The website is up right now. I got the right print message. It's checking a lot of different pages. It's not just checking the home page. It's checking a lot of different pages. Okay, so that is basically a simple script. In the next video, we're going to run the Selenium one. Right, the Selenium script is doing the same thing. It has a dependency. So let's go to the Mac one. It's easier to see. So we run this in the Selenium script. Same thing. There's the requirements.txt. In the requirements.txt, there's only one library, the Selenium library, without the specific version. And there is a file. The same thing. The Selenium one would open the browser, goes to the website, and make sure it is working. So I think this video is long, so we're going to go and do that in another video. We're going to keep practicing, right? The same thing. We're going to come to this folder. We're going to create a virtual environment. We're going to run the script. Straightforward. In fact, on that one, I'll move a little bit faster. See if you can do it before you go to the next video. See if you have access to the code. So see if you can just go and run the script. If you go to the folder, create a virtual environment, install the dependencies, and run the script, and then you don't have to watch the video. You can just skip the next video. All right. So I'll see you on the next one.